guys know I don't like to do back-to-back gameplay videos, but earlier today, as I was getting ready to sit down and record something else, I got an email saying that I had been accepted into the Undisputed public beta. Undisputed, if you don't know, is an upcoming boxing game made by an independent developer, Steel City Interactive. There's been a lot of hype around this game because there has not been a legitimate boxing game since Fight Night Champion back on the Xbox 360, and a lot of boxing fans have been kind of forced to play the UFC games, which most of us don't really like. And we've been really clamoring for another boxing video game. Steel City came out originally with their game under the name of Esports Boxing Club. They've renamed the game to Undisputed, and I've been following the development cycle for quite a while now. There's gonna be an absolutely massive roster on this game with some huge names: Canelo Alvarez, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and you're gonna have some of the greats, Muhammad Ali, the Klitschko brothers, Barreras, all sorts of guys. Showtime Sean Porter, one of my favorite boxers. You're gonna have Rocky Marciano, Gotti, Ward. You're gonna have Riddick Bowe for the first time in a video game. So I'm really excited for this game, and I've been following the development cycle. There's been a few things that I've been concerned about, mainly the animations. This is an independent studio after all, but now we get to see that for ourselves. Unfortunately, this is multiplayer only. I tend to not like playing fighting games like this in multiplayer mode. I tend to like doing story mode or quick fight against an AI, things like that. But this is our only option, so it's what we're gonna do. Welcome to the Undisputed Online Beta. This test of our multiplayer infrastructure is an important step on our path to early access. It's important to know that the game is still a work in progress. There might be bugs, crashes, lag, or any number of things that could impact the experience that won't be representative of the final game. We'll be here to collect your feedback and read through any issues you report to us in the Steam forums. As you head into your first match, be sure to remember the foundation of Undisputed is authentic boxing. This means you'll want to protect yourself at all times, be patient, and use footwork and timing, and manage your distance to set up your shots. And watch that stamina bar to make sure you still have energy in the championship rounds if your fight goes the full distance. Thanks for all your support and good luck. We'll see you in the ring, the Steel City Interactive team. Alright, let's see it. License agreement. This is all standard. Just have to accept that. Alright, and as you can see, all we have right now is the online hub. And all we have is online quick fight. Let's look at the settings menu real quick just to see what's in there. We got all this. Overall quality, we'll do that. Medium, dazed effects on. Even saves. Decline, didn't change anything. Volume. We're gonna turn the music down. Just so I don't get any copyright strikes or anything like that. Click that on. Oh wait, streamer music mode. Oh, that's actually sick. Okay, let's turn the music back up then. I didn't know that was a thing that could be done. So we have streamer music mode turned on, which uses only public domain music. That's really cool. Alright, there's no voice chat, it looks like, so that's good. I was gonna turn that off since my mic's on, but it doesn't look like there's any voice chat. Alright, I guess we'll do online quick fight. Let's see. Welterweight, women's lightweight. I guess we'll go welterweight here. Who do we have? We have Arturo Gotti. Alright, let's see. There's Arturo Gotti. And we have Mickey Ward. These are two just beasts. We'll go with Gotti. Alright, and we're gonna search for a match. There's been a lot of people who've been having issues getting stuck on this searching screen, so let's hope that isn't the case for us. Let's hope we can find a match here. But yeah, this game is going to be one that, when it comes out, if it ends up living up to the expectations that I and a lot of others have for it, or even if it, is like somewhat meets those expectations, doesn't go all the way with them, it's gonna be a game that's going to feature pretty heavily on my channel, I expect. I would probably be doing a full career mode playthrough once the full game launches and has the single player modes. It looks like we might be having that issue that a lot of people are having, where we're endlessly searching for a game but unable to find one. It's something that's been reported in the forums a lot. That's happening, and people are saying it's actually easier to get matches if you move over to the women's division instead of doing the men's. So I might pause this recording, exit out of the game, and then go back in and search for a women's match. So I'm gonna pause this right here and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back here on this screen. Now we're gonna do the women's lightweight, see if we can get a match here. Sophie Alish, Terry Harper. Terry Harper just seems better across the board. I guess I'll take her. Yeah, let's hope we don't run into the same issue here. This has been an issue for a lot of people. So basically it's just kind of trial and error on whether or not you're able to get a match. There's been people who've gone over and over and over again matchmaking, and it takes them a lot of tries to actually get into a match. That was a disappointing start, to be honest. Alright, I'm just gonna pause this and come back when I'm actually able to get a match instead of recording me trying to find one. So, it took an extra day, but thankfully I was able to get into a match. I got a couple of matches actually in Undisputed, but this is my best one I got. So far, I was Arturo Gotti playing against Mickey Ward, and the game definitely has some issues, as you can see, and it will keep popping up in the top up there. The high ping issue. I was able to get into 3 matches over the course of playing the beta. And every single match, I had the high ping issue. There wasn't a single match I got into where I had good network connectivity, and I'm on Xfinity fiber on an Ethernet connection, like 600 megabytes per second download speed, 150 megabytes per second upload speed. Like, you know, it wasn't a connection issue, it's a server issue. And because of that, because of the connection, the game got really laggy, and there's people complaining on the forums, on the subreddit, saying that the higher the ping, the graphics and like the motion blur got worse, which is like a really weird system. I'm not sure how that works exactly, but I was experiencing that same thing. And another issue, because of the ping, a lot of my inputs wouldn't register, or they would come out late. There was a few times where I would like push in and I'd move in with the jab. So I'd walk in under the jab and then I'd like press Y or B to throw a hook or a straight right after. And sometimes I would walk in and just not throw a punch at all, leaving myself completely open to getting hit. Sometimes I'd walk in and only the jab would throw, and the straight and the hook wouldn't like even go through. Like, very rarely would the full combo come out, so that's definitely an issue. That needs to be fixed is the high ping. But overall, the gameplay, I feel like with Undisputed, there is a decent base there. There's a good game in there somewhere. Also, all that leaning I'm doing, like, I'm not really doing that on purpose. Sometimes I would push the left stick backwards to try and move back, but my character would just lean instead, even though I wasn't holding down the block or the lean button. So that's also an issue that they've got to get figured out. Just really the server issues. The punching felt a lot better in this compared to the gameplay videos that I had watched so far, where it looked really stiff and robotic. But the big thing is, like, none of the punches really felt like they had power. It really felt like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, kind of. Like, me and this guy have both unloaded on each other. There we go, like, I just got a counter on him, and he was dazed, but I couldn't really see why. And he's able to just back up, and I could never get into range. Kind of frustrating things like that. Things that even in older games like Fight Night are way more polished. Yeah, but like I said, the punching looks and feels better than the early videos and like the social media posts that had come out showing some of the punching so far. I feel like with lower ping and against AI opponents, I would have actually had a really, really good time with this. It's just the fact that you had to play online. But you see, like, he's managing his stamina better than me, but I've done way more damage to him than he's done to me. Which is interesting, because I feel like he's been landing more punches. But I've been also using the power modifier and trying to hit him with bigger hooks and shots and stuff to do damage, instead of trying to bait him into wearing down his stamina. But yeah, I think playing this against the AI, where ping and lag won't be an issue like it was in this beta, will make the experience way better across the board. So this was, see, like all those leans right there that I just did, I wasn't doing that on purpose. Like, I legitimately was not trying to lean, I was trying to back up, and I wasn't holding down the lean button, so that's really weird. I don't know if it's like some change in how the game operates when you get with like inside fighting, I'm not sure, but yeah, with ping not being an issue, I feel like I will really enjoy this game because, like, you can see some moments in this game where I'll hit lag spikes and the motion blur just gets crazy and the character models kind of freak out a little bit. Like, it's on the graphics issue. The graphics were fine, the game ran fine. It's just an internet issue, really. Big rights and with some left right there. And unfortunately, because of the high ping and the lag, like actually trying to fight tactically and set up combos and stuff just wasn't really possible. Like I would have liked to do, like how I fight in Fight Night. So I was kind of forced to just like stepping in and throwing hooks and stuff instead of being able to like set up combos like jab jab straight and things like that. So hopefully, I mean, for people who do like playing online, hopefully these things do get fixed, but I don't really have any plans on playing this game online once it gets released. Now, this was just the beta, like I said. Early access should be out later this year. I think they said before 2023 they want to get early access out. And if early access has the career mode, I will be picking up early access, and you'll be seeing a lot of this game on the channel if I can get that figured out. Just because this is one of my most hyped, most anticipated games. I'm a huge boxing fan. Look at that, like a missed power shot there, but it just kind of looks janky because of the ping and the lag. But I've been hitting them. We've both actually kind of been landing some good shots this round, but as you saw coming into this round, I was down on the scorecards. So I kind of had to start being more aggressive. As you see, I hit him like a triple hook there. The thing is, this guy I'm fighting though is leaving his defense down a lot, so I'm able to just eat him up with those big right hands. Ooh, big rights. Nice. Just bang bang, like, oh, look at that. That was like a 6-punch combo there. But those things are pretty much happening like by accident because the timing is so off. I'd hit the button and it would come through 1 to 2 seconds after I actually pushed the button, and then by that point they could have stepped back, they could have, done whatever, so the timing was weird. Also, I could not get the stick controls to work. Like when I play Fight Night, I'm doing all my punching using the right stick, and that was advertised for this game as well. But I found that it was actually way more inconsistent with the stick. Like, the punches would come through even less often than when you were using the face buttons. So I actually ended up having to use the face buttons for this, for all this gameplay, just because they were the only thing that, was actually somewhat working, even though they also were having issues. The player models though, and like the environments look great. I didn't really get it captured here, but the ring walks look nice. I don't really have any concerns about the graphical aspects of this game, to be honest. It's mostly the gameplay. And the big thing that a lot of people are complaining about from the online beta is like the lean spam. Like, somebody would just lean back the whole fight, and like you literally cannot land punches on them if they're leaning back. It's extremely unrealistic. Like, you kind of saw it just then. But if somebody's leaning back, it almost like has like a force field. It feels like in front of them, or like an invisible wall, and you can't actually push up on their player and pressure them. So people would just lean back, and like you could spam punches and you would never land, and then like as you tried to move back or you stopped punching, like they would then like lean forward and throw a lead hook or something, and it was really hard to deal with. And then on the flip side of that, there was one where there was a match I was playing where I got rocked, and I was gonna go down, but all I did was I just went to the corner of the ring and then leaned back, and they were literally spamming with their infinite stamina, and they couldn't land a single punch on me even though I was rocked. Like I said, it literally felt like there was like a force field around my player that they couldn't get through. So the leaning definitely needs to be fixed before the full release, hopefully even before early access. And maybe the player collision a little bit, because like I said, it feels like there's sort of an invisible wall around the player models that you're not allowed to enter into. Whereas in a real boxing match, you know, you can clinch, you can pressure, you can get right up in somebody's face, and you know, they said from the outset their goal with this game is to make like the most realistic simulation of boxing ever. And I think it's close, but there's still some things that feel way, way unrealistic. The leaning being one of them, the collision being one of them. Some of the animations still feel a little robotic, like the punching animations feel very unnatural. It almost kind of feels like the boxers are like robots that have been programmed to only punch in one very specific motion. Which I guess if you think about it, I mean, they sort of are. That's how a video game works, but it's still just not very fluid sometimes. I'd like to see like variations of movements for punches, like one boxer should have 10 to 20 ways they can throw each individual punch, depending on their feet placement, depending on how much they're leaning forward or back, depending on their stamina levels, things like that. It just feels very samey when you're throwing the punches. And like both Mickey Ward and Arturo Gotti, like their animations were basically the same. And I didn't play any of the women's matches, but watching some footage from the women's matches, like their punches basically looked the same as Gotti and Ward's punches. So it's weird, like it feels like all the characters like feel the same. They don't feel like unique people or unique boxers where like, oh, this boxer's a big power puncher, but he's slow, or this boxer's a defensive boxer and quick, but he can't, you know, punch, you know, like things like that. And maybe, you know, upon full release, when you have a bigger roster of characters, a bit more development time, that will be the case. Especially if we're going to make, you know, a more realistic, like they said, they want to be able to like realistically simulate the sport of boxing. Right now I don't think they're really doing that, and I would still actually say that Fight Night, oh, look at that, this was big. Setting him up, and I knock him down right there. As I was saying, Fight Night still feels like the better game at the moment, but I have high hopes for this game. I feel like Undisputed can become a good game, a good boxing game, and I'm still hyped for it, even with some of these issues I've had. I mean, look at that knockout I just got. That was sick. And I wonder, I don't think it does show the replay, unfortunately, but that is one thing I'd like to see, the presentation, maybe showing replays of the knockdown, highlights of the fight in general. You can see here the stats. You know, I was losing on the scorecards, but I get him with the knockdown. I landed 45% of my punches, 291 out of 644. He beat me on the jabs. I got him on the straights and the hooks, but round 7 KO, 1 minute into the match. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.